The Anunnaki created us humans. Now, what's mainstream going to do about that? That everyone's working this out? Well, they're going to say Neanderthals and humans now belong to the same species, which gets away with this whole missing link, because obviously we've got fused chromosomes, number 23 and 24, and that was done in a laboratory by the Anunnaki. But of course, there's always this missing link. So now if they say that they're together, then they get rid of the missing link. However, this is Homo sapien, the first one. This is Homo sapien sapien, modern human. Now, we know that these were both correct because here in the ancient text, exactly where and when they say that they created man, the whole list just goes on. It talks about making the gods use us to free them from their toil by carrying baskets, etc. So we've got evidence that they created us. So, of course, then later on, the Anunnaki bred with those humans to create the first Homo sapiens, and that is when Adapa and Titi, Adam and Eve, came along, and he possessed
multiple alien races out there. We shouldn't be literally tripping over it.
This video is talking about the Fermi Paradox, which basically says that there should be millions of aliens and we should be all tripping over each other by now. That's the assumption from these people that's on this video. The problem with that is we do have aliens. We've been seeing aliens for a very long time. Millions of people have actually been abducted and got scoop marks and implants and missing time and regression and everything else. So we do actually have the aliens. Now, what if they don't want to be seen? Just because we might be tripping over ourselves, if they avoid being seen, then what? Then what do we do? So this is why people like this really annoy me, because they just see it from one logical point of view, but they don't actually really see it properly. So obviously, if they don't want to be seen, then they won't be seen. So it doesn't mean they're not there.
According to the Bible, the Earth is only around 6,000 years old.
This gentleman asks another gentleman if that's true, and the guy goes, yes, it's more than likely true, because then he starts quoting things from the Bible. Problem with that is we've got things like the King's List, which show thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of years of kings reigning. We've also got the Lucifer tree that's over 5,000 years old, and apparently there's one over 6,000 years old in Indonesia. Then we've got the Sumerian tablets that talk about Shahs at 3,600, and there's lots of them, which goes over the 6,000 years. Then we've got the weathering on the Sphinx and the Great Pyramids, which show at least 10,000 BC, 12,000 BCE. And then we got the fact that the Bible actually copied the older texts anyway and got things wrong. I've proved that a zillion times.
Our True History presents You Don't Have Your Own Soul. I'll show you why, but first let's pretend you are born with your own soul. Let's say these are the very first people on the planet. Let's say they were born with their own soul, a spirit, or whatever you want to call it. They have a child that also has their own soul when they are born. Then the father dies, while the mother is pregnant. His soul will reincarnate into someone else, but if the next child has their own soul, what happens to the dad's soul? Unless the dad's soul had joined or pushed out the new child's soul, then the new child would either have two souls, his and his dad's, or the dad's soul took the place of the boy's soul and now the boy has his dad's soul, which is not his own soul. If you research and talk to mediums and clairvoyants, they will tell you we only have one soul. This leaves there is no reincarnation, but wait, Virginia University has done over 2,500 cases. From those 1,200 of those cases prove reincarnation is real. So where does that leave us? The soul is its own entity. In the Emerald Tablets of Thoth shows there is an internal being, light energy orb, that joins with us 3 to 4 months in the mother's womb and connects to the pineal gland. It's like a hard drive. It is there to learn. When you die, you have control of it for a while, but at some point the entity takes over and goes back round into another person. The entity is nothing to do with God. It is just a light energy being and we are containers for them while we are alive. If you want to see more on this, please visit my website, ourtruehistory.co.uk. Thank you.
The Bible tells us that God created a perfect world. There was no death, no disease.
Actually, if you go by Young's literal translation instead of the other copies that people changed over and over, always go to Young's literal translation. You'll find that in Genesis 1, it's the gods, plural, prepared the heavens and earth because they were cataloguing the Anunnaki were cataloguing things for the first 6 days, and then we've got this cuneiform cipher that says that Enki tells the other Anunnaki that the 7th day will now be a day of rest. But let's go back to where this person said God created, because he's using the Bibles that are man-made and changed. Go back to Young's literal translation, plural and prepared. Didn't say created. So if you're going to do it properly, do it properly. I'm super excited to tell you about my brand new documentary. It's 20 minutes long nearly, and it's called Yowie Connection to Bigfoot ? So I've been researching Bigfoot for decades, and I needed finally to work out whether or not there is a connection between the Australian Yowie and the sort of North American Bigfoot. And I think I've worked out one way or another. I'm not going to spoil it for you, whether there is or isn't. But it's on my Patreon page if you're interested, along with many, many other documentaries. In fact, over 100 odd documentaries, long ones. This is the one where we prove that Lilith had no knowledge whatsoever of Adam and Eve. This one is the one where I prove that Adam and Eve was on a spaceship for 24 years, at the beginning of their life, with evidence, always with evidence, and so on and so on. So many, many documentaries on my... And it's only a couple of pounds for a month, so I'm doing this video so that if I send you to this video, it means that you've said something that you can't back up, or you've told me that I'm wrong. So I'm just going to go through these ones where other people have said things. So here, one person says reptilians are fallen angels, and I wrote, could you show me the evidence? And you can read it yourself. They didn't bother showing me the evidence, obviously. Another one here is great lie, deception at end times, not gods, demons. Basically, I said, I'm happy to show you the evidence. Can you show me what the evidence of demons are? You can read these. He doesn't. Another one here, no they didn't, God did. And of course I said, would you like to see the evidence? And then try and debunk my evidence with evidence. But of course, you know, you can read. They don't bother. So the whole point is, whatever you've just said, and I've pointed you to this video, you can't beat me without sounding big-headed. It's just only because I go by evidence. Old rascals, it means that they created animals too. I said, here is the evidence, and of course, no reply. How is some old guy talking? That's to do with this gentleman down here. Considered evidence by blah blah blah, and I said, you're too funny, show me the evidence where my evidence is wrong. I'll wait, and here's the evidence, and I give the link. Of course, no reply. And you're getting the picture now. I'm just going to keep going through these just to finally shut people up, because I do get fed up. Yes, but TikTok evidence is very different to real evidence. Every video, blah, blah, blah. And I said, no problem. Watch this till the end and tell me where it is wrong. And then I give the link to the evidence. I'll show you where the evidence is in a second. Up and down means timelines. That's because this gentleman here said that the Anunnaki went up and down, and obviously we've got the original text that say they go up into space, which is heaven, and back down. And so I offer the evidence there with the link, and of course they don't bother getting back to me. No one ever gets back to me. He's talking realms, not physically. Think of shrinking infinitely or expanding. This is what another one says. And I kind of say, no, we have the text. Would you like to see the evidence? And if you click on there, they don't ask for the evidence. Oh, you can share. Sorry, I did share actually on this one. But obviously they didn't ever get back to me, which seems to be the case. So what I'm saying to you, if you've been sent here because I've told you that, you know, to go here, you ain't going to have the evidence. Sorry. This person says, no, it's not correct. Gods of Olympia, I'm guessing that's Olympus, have created this bloodline. And I said, please show me the evidence of what you said. I'll wait. They don't show me. No one ever shows me. This one here, whatever they said, the only creator is God. And I said, no, their race name is God. Happy to show you the evidence. Of course, they didn't want to know. They didn't come back and say, yes, please. They never do. They never do. God is the creator, always was and always will be. And I've wrote, been debunked, which he has, because you can watch my evidence. And then I wrote evidence for the gods of the Anunnaki, happy to show you. And then they wrote the usual one, who created that, you know, the Anunnaki, which is a stupid question, because I could then say who created God, and they'll say no, God's always been here. Well, then I could say the Anunnaki's always been here. Don't make up crap. Go by evidence. And of course, chemicals created species. If you don't know that, go research. We were created by God. I can show you the evidence. We were created by aliens. Would you like to see this? And you know, when you click on it, basically, no, they don't ask. That was me there saying that. So they don't ask. No one ever comes back. No one does. This person's put a little slappy face as if to say I'm talking crap. Happy to show you the evidence if you want. You click on that. They never come back. This person actually just said that I'm showing merely pictures, insignificant evidence. They didn't even watch it. So, and I wrote, you assumed I was going to show you pictures. And then I wrote, you're not the smartest here, but I can show you evidence. Do you want to see it or not? And of course they don't. And this just goes on and on and on. For all my videos, I get people saying stuff, and I'm like, happy to show you the evidence, and they don't want to see. It just goes on and on and on. And this is one of the videos that's got evidence. So this is a 10-minute video, part 3 of 4 parts. There's hours worth of evidence on my Patreon page, but there's 40 minutes on TikTok. This has got 17,000 views. And as you can see by the other one, I do keep the silly comments. But no one out of all of these comments here said I'm wrong, and no one's backed it up with evidence either. So when I'm sending you to this video to watch, it's because you are not going to be able to debunk this video here. And if you're interested in know where it is, it's around 1136. So part 1136. So at the tops of videos, it's got like that one's 1142. So just scroll down until you see 1136, and then it's 4 videos after that. So basically, it says proof the Anunnaki was God part 2. So basically, you can guess the idea: part 1, part 2, part 3. So please, enough with whatever you've just sent me, because you're going to be one of these people that just disappear. Sorry. I've been putting up some audio clips from books. These 2 books here, Black Ops, Aliens, Spirits, Bigfoot, and Our Untold History, and Atlantis, Mermaids, Giants, etc. They're big books. And people have been asking me what else is on the books, because in the books. So I thought I'd go through Ancient Earth. So this is this first book here, Black Ops, Aliens. I'll put a link in the description. Ancient Earth, Ancient Moon and Mars. I mean, these books are amazing. Anunnaki, Egypt, Dinosaurs, Man, Bloodline, Little Green Men, Souls and Spirits, Black Ops, Secret Program, Crop Circles, Other Aliens, Men in Black, Time Travel, and Remote Viewing, and Bigfoot, and other information. And this one has Mermaids, Giants, Bible, Ancient Sunken Structures, Pixies, Bermuda Triangle, Levitation, Skinwalkers, Telekinesis, and Telepathy, Atlantis, Vampires, Werewolves, etc., dowsing and ley lines, synchronicity and coincidence, hypnosis, and the future. Highly recommend these amazing books.